Whenever you're ready.
Oh my God.
Jessica! I've never been called a fox!
Dana.
That's a classy name for a Harry.
I like it classic.
Okay.
Do you?
Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Jessica!
Dana!
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. My name is Dana Powell.
I'm
Welcome
Jessica
to
Young.
the... Well, wait, I didn't even say welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast. I did it all wrong. Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast. I am Dana Powell.
I'm Jessica Young.
And
we are here to rant and rave. Dana, what is that? I love it. And was it a Christmas gift?
It was a Christmas gift. It's on the top 2 of my Christmas list. Santa brought me this. It is a karaoke microphone that connects to my phone via Bluetooth, and I can sing any song I want to karaoke.
And do you
And
have it on the echo mode or auto?
Absolutely. Echo as high as possible. Also music sound, so like when it's playing music, as loud as possible.
Oh, I love
Let me
it.
check my other. It's got a whole panel here. See?
That is so fancy and profesh, but
It was
also
$30.
I am really amazed because it looks like it was dipped in rose gold.
That's what I asked for.
This is
My
a Christmas
men-
miracle.
Oh, I love it so much. My men hate it, obviously.
so here's the funny thing about that. It really is. I'm turning it off so I don't try, because I will use it the whole time. I love it so
I want
much.
you to wake them up with that in the morning.
It makes me so happy. So I was talking to my girlfriend Candace Brown, who's another lovely comedian and mommy. She's got a little one, much smaller than mine. And we were just chatting over text, and I said, "Hey, can I please share with you my top 2 Christmas presents of 2020?" She's like, "Absolutely." And I said, "Hands down, my Bluetooth karaoke rose gold microphone." And my electric blanket. They're not like the days of old where you're worried you're going to get like electrocuted.
Or catch on fire.
Correct. They have like all these timers. You can set it for at different temperatures. It's just so nice. And I never knew how freezing I was because my guys are walking ovens. And you would think, listen, I have some whale blubber. I should be warm. I don't know what the problem is. But I'm not. So anyway, she starts typing and I'm like sending pictures of my microphone and my blanket. And she goes, "Oh, girl, we live parallel lives." Sent me a picture of her Bluetooth microphone and her electric blanket.
What?
We both asked for them for Christmas.
I love it. What are the chances?
I know, it's so crazy. I was like, maybe that's like the top mom gift. Let us know, listeners, if you're out there and you also got a microphone and blanket. Let us know, because I feel like advertisers need to know what we want, right?
That's right.
So,
Turn your phone off or it's going to give you nothing but ads for that microphone and you already own one. But your phone doesn't know that. I
know. Jessica and I were talking about ads, like our phones listening to us. And I was saying on Instagram, I haven't shopped for any perfume. I'm not a huge perfume person, only because here in LA, people are so snatchy and weird about it. Smells hurt my head. Smells are bad for my body.
I'm sure you've been into the office of the casting director who forbids it. You're not allowed to have any. Don't even use a body wash before you go in, okay?
Correct. They don't want it. So people are weird about it here. My good friend Sarah Baker also does not like smells. She can't handle it. She says it makes her sick. So anyway, I'm not a big perfume person. At the most, I'll do I like lotions, sometimes a mist, whatever. Anyway, it's not something I seek out. Instagram, though, has been bombarding me with this particular perfume line because its name is Henry Rose. Well, my child's name is Henry. So clearly I see that constantly in every emotion possible. Yeah. So Instagram is like, she loves this perfume. So yeah, you're right. I'm probably going to get, Jessica, I've forced her to be in on my happiness routine with plants. I'm really into plants right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've started following a lot of plant people. Like they are into it. I'm not at the grow light level. Okay. I'm not buying grow
You're
lights.
not in the weed business?
No. So, and my entire house is not filled ceiling to floor with levels and levels of plants, only because I kill them. I can't but that pops up for me all the time now too. And it's so tempting. They're like, wouldn't you like your own repotting mat that's very simple to use that won't make a mess? And I'm like, I've never thought about it, but yes, I do.
Is that the thing that is like a knee pad that you kneel on to give you some cushion while you're gardening?
Jessica, no. And now I want that. What's wrong with you, Jessica Graham?
Oh my God.
No,
well,
it's this mat that you snap the corners of it so that it creates a little tub almost, and you can repot your plants and not make a mess with your dirt and stuff. It's like one of those
like
cheapo Office Depot file folders that they've opened up and put buttons on the corners.
How crazy.
And then you just wipe it off.
Yeah. Well, you gave me some sage advice. Dana, first of all, while we were on our break, I had a lovely excursion with Dana to a tropical paradise. And seriously, you guys, I mean, again, I know things are different in different parts of the country, but I think and hope most people are trying to just be safe and not just be out and about. Yeah. But where we are, there's nothing open. There hasn't been.
No.
So we met at this massive indoor-outdoor greenhouse with 200-foot ceilings. Mm-hmm. And Dana got me all crazy about these amazing plants. And the man gave us carnivorous plants because he heard us talking about it. And then he showed us his insane pitcher plants that he was growing.
They were beautiful.
But
it's Rainforest Flora is the name of it if you're anywhere near LA. It's worth the trip.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so amazing.
There's waterfalls, there's fish, there's turtles.
The fish and the turtle. It was literally felt like we were stepping out into an island. Mm-hmm. Even when we left there, we stood in the parking lot for over an hour chatting.
I'm sure they thought we were insane.
I'm sure too. They kept walking by. It's like, oh, those two ladies are still here.
Those women again.
But you prevented me from possibly killing my little sundew because it was dry as a bone and I was about to water it. And you told me distilled water. I forgot that the guy said that. So I did. I'm like, hey, I haven't had the gumption to take out my humidifier all season because I've just quit trying with anything. And I had a bottle of distilled water and I bottom fed it as you suggested.
Yes. And how's she doing?
It literally, the poor thing needed water so bad. As soon as it got water and I did put a tiny bit on top, the plant went
Yes.
Like it actually opened. I'm like, oh, the poor thing literally is breathing now.
I know. I almost killed mine too. And I was like, wait a minute. I remember because we bought air plants and we bought, this is the most boring podcast. We're doing a plant podcast right now.
I missed my air plants.
But air plants you only missed once a week, right? Mm-hmm. Or dunk or whatever. But with carnivorous plants, they almost like to live in water. Mm-hmm. Like you can leave an inch of water of that distilled water. So I got one of my little makeup cups that's like this big. It's like a little container to help you organize your drawers. Mm-hmm. And I put the pot down in there and then I pour distilled water in it and she soaks it up whenever she needs. And I have so many new babies, Jessica.
Yeah, that's smart.
She is so happy.
I love it.
I know. We were both so excited. Anyway, off the plants because that's boring. We've been gone for like a month.
We have. You've been under your electric blanket and I've been under my weighted blanket.
Yeah. I mean, it had to happen. It really did. I guess we should give like quick updates. My family, thank you so much to everyone who's reached out to us. We are good. Dan Tipton is back to full health, except for he doesn't have smell and he doesn't have taste. But I'll be honest, he didn't have either one of those a whole lot beforehand anyway. So it's not like a huge change for him. But I did burn some sweetgrass in the house the other day. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, a little while later, he goes, did you burn sweetgrass? And I was like, I did. So we were really impressed. Maybe he's getting it back a little bit.
That's a good sign.
I mean, that's obviously a very strong smell, but still, it's something. So health-wise, we are all great. My child is growing like a weed. He's making me laugh hysterically. He keeps making jokes about South Korea, and we can't figure out why.
What?
He told me the other day, this looks, what was he looking at? His breakfast, his eggs or something. He goes, this looks like South Korea. I was like, where did you even hear that?
Meaning it looks like a breakfast they would have, or it looks like the shape of the country?
The shape of the country. I don't even know what the shape of South Korea is, if I'm being honest. I think it's some show he watches that shows like funny videos, and some of them are from other countries. And so I think he's gotten it from there, but he thinks it's a joke. So I'm going to have to sit down and be like, hey, that's a real place.
Oh my
He's
God.
like, because he'll say to me, I've created a monster, because he has a comedy mom. And so I appreciate and love funny. So whenever he makes me laugh, he goes, does that make you laugh? Like, he's so proud.
So cute.
Oh, man. So that's our update. Cutie. Dan Tipton is back to work this week. He's back at, oh God, what a bad wife. What's that Rob Lowe show? It's Ryan Murphy. Oh, Lone Star 911. Are you into Rob Lowe?
I always have been, and he's one of those people that to me ages like a fine wine. He looks better the older he gets.
He gets. He's very handsome. I just heard this morning he's going to be on some podcast talking about his life and the show and stuff.
Really?
I'll have to look it up for you. Yeah. So anyway, Dan Tipton's back at work, which makes me nervous, but he's still got his antibodies, I guess. So whatever. And then myself and my child, we go nowhere.
Right.
So what's your fast update? And again, thank you. So many people did reach out to me to make sure that we were okay. And I couldn't appreciate it more. It was so thoughtful. Thank you.
No, it's so nice. Yeah. I don't really have anything to report, Dana, other than, I already told you I was called a man in person for, I don't know, the 50th time in my life.
But that's a pretty good one, because it's almost like impossible. I don't know what happened to this person's brain, but you have to tell it.
I went to pick up barbecue at a local place that it's this amazing little tiny market, like family owned, and Saturdays only. They have their huge smokers and grills outside, and they do barbecue all day.
There's a line so long because people love it.
It's crazy. It's not expensive. It's a ton of food, and it's great. And they've been very expedient with COVID. So actually the long line, which you used to stand and nobody, it's not like that it's distance, but they get people in and out, and they have an outdoor tent set up. So you don't even have to walk into the actual marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm there. I did go into the marketplace because I needed to get a few things while I'm there. And I noticed the adorable cashier and her little rockabilly fashion self. And I said, first of all, I'm just dating myself. I'm like somebody's old aunt at this point. I'm like, you always look so cute. I mean, who says that? Like something my dad would say.
I know, but I think it's nice. I have started, when I think about somebody, or if I see someone and they have on a cute outfit, I think it in my brain. And I'm like, why don't I say it out loud?
Right?
So I think it's really lovely.
So she kind of blushed, and I said, actually, aren't you the one that was wearing that fabulous creature from the Black Lagoon dress like a year ago? And her eyes got really wide, and she's like, yeah. And then I'm like, oh, okay. She's like blushing and stuff. Anyways, I'm like, you always just look so great. We have eye contact. We're talking the entire time. She's looking me in the eye as she's ringing me up. And then she goes, okay, sir, your total will be $36.48.
Jessica, I am 92% sure you could have asked her out and had a date.
I think so. I really think so.
But we were talking about this when you told me it, when I could finally start breathing again, because I know that it happens to you all the time, and you're just so all used to it. You're so gracious about it. I would cry. But I said to you, I have always, since the day I met you, found you very feminine. You dress so lovely. You always have a nice bag with you. And then on top of all of that, besides that, and just you have a very nurturing personality. You're very caring, which often we relate to a feminine quality, right? But on top of that, I said, you have two very large boobies. Like, what did she think was going on? That this man, quote unquote, just had tumors? Like, I don't know how you could possibly,
oh my God,
over a speaker. Maybe I get it. But I said to Jessica, I was like, did she just think you were flaming gay? Because you were talking about her clothes in such detail.
It was just, I mean, all I did was, it's like, I'm so tired. I don't want to correct anyone anymore. I just want to move on with life. I was literally crying. I was laughing so hard from behind my mask, which, by the way, was a pink mask.
Anyway.
I was wearing a pink mask. I was wearing one of my amazing holiday masks because who cares anymore? I'm going to keep wearing my Festivus fuck mask. And it had pink poinsettias on it.
I'm still wearing my Halloween mask, my witch's mask. I don't care.
Good.
Yeah.
You know what? This brings up a great question. It's a question to you and to our readers. So, of course,
readers.
Our readers.
For the e-zine that we put out.
I'm literally crying. Okay. Oh my God. I left the beautiful wreath that my husband came home with, which is just fresh pine and pine cones, right? Now, of course, we associate that type of wreath with Christmas and the Christmas season, but I looked at it and I'm like, there's nothing on it. First of all, half my neighborhood left up their Christmas stuff and I'm all about it. Again, it's like, who cares if it's giving somebody joy and adding some light in their life, pun intended, go for it. But I left the wreath up and I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with it. Can't that just be a wintry thing? It's not like it's June and I have a dead wreath still on my door, but I bought a mister for my air plants and I'm like, hey, I'm going to start misting that wreath. But is that weird to leave that on the front door?
No, I don't think so. I think, like you said, it's just foliage, which is lovely. But also, I may not be the right person to ask. I'm just going to move my head a little bit.
Yes.
My tree.
I see garland.
Every Christmas decoration. I don't know if you can let me move my head. I'm trying to be a weatherman and point for you. I see garland. Snowman. That's a snowman. So I may not be the right person to ask. However, I feel like if it doesn't have any holiday specific decor on it, then it's just plants. It's just plants. I think it's lovely. Okay, and also, I don't care. I feel like this last year was so hard. And let's be honest, 2021, she needs some rev up. Right? So whatever brings you joy, to me, I'm like, if you want to celebrate, I don't care, 4th of July right now, get out your sparklers. I don't care. Whatever makes you happy.
Well, my weird neighbor is sure to do that because he's the one who put up Christmas stuff last April when we were in the height of this. So I'm really looking forward to his next thing. It's like the hoarder that has like holiday lawn decor galore. And for the first time ever, I guess it's because of COVID, he incorporated a lot of his Halloween stuff and added like Santa hats and whatnot to them and put those out to just make it be cuckoo pants, holiday wonderland / nightmare. And I'm all about it.
I love it. I love it. Do what you want.
Seriously.
Do what you want. I mean, I've been painting a ton, like watercolors and drawing and things like that. And I'm so terrible at it. And I couldn't be happier. Like, I just keep making terrible things. And in fact, Jessica was like, maybe you should get some canvas. And I was like, it's easier to throw away paper.
Dana is being too modest.
I'm really not.
The art bug ran through all the ladies in your family. And actually, I mean, I don't know if your dad can draw or not, but you don't have to draw to be artistic. Isn't your dad very handy and makes all kinds of stuff in his workshop?
You know something, actually, you made me think about when I was a kid, my dad used to do coin carving. Do you know what that is?
What? No.
This is very, very delicate. You take a coin and he had a teeny tiny saw and he would cut out the image inside the coin.
What?
Yeah, but leave the coin whole. I used to do that when I was a kid.
Like you would have cut out silhouette of Lincoln's bust?
Correct. Yes.
I want to see one.
Yeah, he used to do that all the time with all kinds of coins. It was he made necklaces out of them.
Don't let the U.S. Treasury hear that. There's a coin.
I know, right? Also, did you see Canada asked people to stop spocking their whatever their 5 is?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Stop spocking it. Honestly, if I saw Spock on money, I'd be happy.
I know. I don't mind. Well, I love how I'm saying I don't mind if people do that. I mean, it belongs to the government, I guess, at the end of the day. But the Canadian money is like made out of plastic. I have a couple of bills in my wallet. The next time I see you, I'll have to let you actually touch it because it's made of some type of plastic. It's not paper. It's literally impossible to make, what do you call it? Counterfeit bills, I think, in Canada. I mean, somebody correct me if I'm wrong with our listeners in Canada. But y'all know what I'm talking about. It's clear. You can even see through the bills in certain part.
Wow.
But it feels weirder than money from any game you ever played as a kid. It's just not paper. I don't know how to explain what it's made out of.
Is it like a laminated card?
No.
Oh.
It's very thin and very pliable, but
I just
can't tear it. You can't tear it.
I want to say how long have I been podcasting? We've been going almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through, so about almost 5 years I've been podcasting. I have learned so much about Canada that I never, ever knew. Why is Canada the most interesting place on earth right now?
Because it's so beautiful. People are nice to each other, and the population of the entire country is less than the population of our great state of California.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Also,
you need to go there.
Well, I went there for like 24 hours once.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't pleasant, but that was because of work, not because of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love to go to Canada. And I mean, I'm just going to be blunt. I like to look at Trudeau. I know that not everyone in Canada loves Trudeau, but I think he's eye candy.
Yeah. Well, you're a history buff. I'm not kidding. I think you would be quite intrigued to look up some old footage in particular, but read up on his father, Pierre, who I know my grandmother loved Pierre Trudeau so much. By the way, he was like a total playboy. He had an affair with Barbara Streisand and other famous women. Oh, yeah.
Fascinating.
He didn't give a shit. He was very blunt and direct. He wasn't rude and he wasn't a sensationalist, but when the press was following him, there was a very famous time where he literally just blatantly flicked them off and said some things that you wouldn't normally necessarily say to the press. But he was a Quebecois. Okay, I'm from Montreal, Quebec, and he became the Prime Minister of Canada, but he was actually trying to unite everyone because part of the reason my family ended up in the US was from the separatist movement. We had a corrections corner early on from my father about what happened at that time. Yeah. But he was not for Quebec seceding. They were trying to become their own country. And, a lot of people in that province had issues with him and thought he was kind of a traitor or whatever. Mm-hmm. But he really just tried to unite Canada, and he pissed people off. He had relations with some countries that the US and other countries didn't approve of. But look up Pierre Trudeau when you have time. I'm not joking. He's actually a fascinating man, and he was a really, really, really good prime minister in Canada.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah. When I have time. That's all I've got, Jessica. All right. Well, should we get into it?
Let's do it.
That was a long catch up and an interesting peek into the boring habits of me. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, you're up first with rants. And let's just preface, since we're back again, let's refresh and say we want to get out all of our rants. We realize there are so many more important things going on in the world, but it's important also to have a sense of normalcy. Mm-hmm. And we're allowed to get aggravated about mundane, ridiculous minutia.
Yes.
And this is the place we bring it. We rant 100%. It out for you. Get it all out, and then we fill up with goodness. So that's what we're about ready to do. Yes, there are bigger problems in the world, but it's okay to be aggravated too.
Yes. If this is your first time joining us, you can go back through and hear all the ranting you want about COVID and politics and everything else we said we'd never do.
Yes.
We're back to our roots.
Yes, exactly.
With mundane rants. And
mundane,
I'm here for it.
I am too. I will also say, just personally for me, it's the last day of this administration and I'm excited. Okay, here we go. We are not a political podcast. We won't mention it again. But,
Claire. Woo!
Sorry, guys. Silence is violence. Woo! Okay, you're next. What's your rant, Jessica?
Okay. This is regarding not getting the one thing you wanted when you go to pick up food to go at a restaurant or have it delivered. Okay?
Yeah.
Especially when it is the thing that you wanted the most. Even more so when you order in person and the person clearly repeats your exact order correctly. So you have faith that it's all there.
Yeah. And then when you grab it, you go, "This is everything?"
You even peek, you're like, "Oh, there's several containers in here," because I don't ever just order one thing. I'm like, "Oh, there's a lot of containers. It's all here."
Yeah.
By the time you get home, as much as you want it, there ain't no way you are driving back to deal with it or waiting or trusting a driver to bring it by, which, by the way, they never offer to do.
Yes, exactly. Well, I am in your camp. No way I'm driving back. I know a person who will stop eating, miss dinner with our child and me to drive back because they put mayonnaise on something. Can't touch it. Can't eat it. Very angry. Stomps to the car.
I am actually so shocked because if I'm being totally honest, which I think I can be with you, I would have thought it's the opposite. That
I know,
you
right?
would be the one. I would think Dan,
I would
being
get
the
a paper
sweet
towel.
gentleman that he is, he'd be like, "Honey, it's fine. Just can you eat it? Can you here have mine? I'll eat that." That's what I'm picturing going on.
No.
Handle
I'll
it.
take a paper towel and go wipe, good as new. He won't touch it.
So you guys, this happened a lot. I mean, this has happened throughout life, but this happened to me recently where it was just one of those days. I mean, I think, again, most people can relate. I was never a cook. I have zero training in the kitchen. I became a pseudo cook during quarantine out of necessity and out of boredom. Okay. And there are just some moments where I was like, I can't. And when I say I can't, I don't just mean I can't cook a meal that takes me 2 hours to put together. I don't even want to make a sandwich, which requires zero effort. I'm like, no. So I went to, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, Zanku Chicken. Big fan. Not trying to knock Zanku. They've been around for like longer than I've been in LA. It's a family-owned business.
Also, huge murder story. Google it. Huge murder story.
Yes, and of course you know about it. I love that you know about. Well, there's one very close to you. That was the original one that I used to go to. So this place does insane like rotisserie chicken and baba ganoush and all that kind of stuff. All I wanted was their rice. Now, I'm telling you, that seems like, Jessica, who cares? It's rice. No, it's not. I don't know what it is. I'm convinced that
shaking your finger at me.
I am pointing at Dana like with such vehemence. Like, you better listen, young lady, or I'm going to talk to your manager. I don't know what breed or varietal of rice they use. It's more like orzo pasta. And I'm saying that as a good thing. I don't know what kind of rice they use. I don't know what kind of gallon of melted butter or God knows what they are putting on that. I've never had rice so good. And yes, it's that good that I could just eat a container of that rice and be happy. I wouldn't say that about rice any other time in my life.
Oh, I love rice.
All I wanted was that rice.
And you didn't get it.
And they left it out. I went there because I wanted the rice. But of course, I'm like, well, I'll go ahead and get, give me the chicken and a container of hummus and baba ganoush. Oh, and tabbouleh, Dana's favorite.
Ew. I also don't know if I would like, I like Zankou chicken rice though, but I don't know what.
You would love it.
What's orzo pasta?
Orzo is like a pasta that looks like rice. It's tiny, but it has like, I'm telling you, the rice has like a chew that's more like orzo than of basmati or jasmine rice. Y'all, all I wanted was that damn rice, and they gave me everything except the rice.
Did you go back?
No, because I was so mad, and I like unpacked everything, and
also, I'm like, it's like depending on where you ordered from. Although I usually only order from places very close to me, but I start doing the calculator in my head of like, is it worth the, let's say, round trip 20 minutes for the $3 item? I went, no, it's not to me.
Also, it's not like somebody's going to run it out to your car and do a Hail Mary and
No,
throw
you
it
have
to
to go
you
to
and you
Santa,
drive away.
and
You have
then
to go
they're
in
like,
and you're waiting
"Do you
behind the
have your
5
receipt?"
people who haven't ordered.
Yeah, do you have your receipt? Do you blah, 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 blah. It's just such a hassle.
It makes me furious. And you guys, I've said this before. I'm a condiment hoe. So I get real upset, especially if I order Indian food and I request the chutneys and the tamarind extra at that.
Okay.
And they don't bring that. And then I'll call and they're like, oh, we're sorry. I'm like, you're sorry? I'm like, and then I realize how irrational I am. I'm like, I really wanted that. Like they give a crap.
Well,
And then they
remember,
say, well, what do you want us to do? Or we can refund you. I said, I don't want a refund. I want someone to bring it over here is what I want. And they never do.
Dan Tipton got into I guess a verbal spar with the owner of a local pizza place.
Oh my God.
Because he ordered garlic cheese bread and they just sent us buttered bread. And that's like a $4 difference.
It is. You paid for it and it's not what you wanted.
And not to mention, I don't like the cheese bread from this place anyway, because they just take a hoagie roll and butter it and put cheese at. Like, come on, that's not. Stop it. Just stop it. So I just stayed out of it. But anyway, I could hear him talking to the manager and he goes, well, what I want you to do is bring me what I ordered. And he got into a fight with the guy, and I had the bread sitting there. It was open, and he gets off the phone. He comes over and he closes the lid up and he takes it away from me. And I go, well, I wasn't going to eat that, but like, what's going on? He goes, well, they're bringing our cheese bread. And I said, okay. And he goes, and he told me I have to return the regular bread. And I go, why? It's not like they can serve it to anybody else.
Ew. That makes me even angrier because then they probably are.
I hope not. It's a hoagie roll that sat in my house for 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
It is aggravating. But I'm also the queen of, I don't know why, I hate checking my bag before I leave. Like Dan will open a sandwich to make sure it doesn't have onions on it. Right. He'll sit in the, he'll pull up and he'll sit and open every single thing. I don't want to open every single thing. I'd rather just pick the pickles off. I don't care. But I am notorious for driving away without my drink, and that does make me mad.
I've done that. Oh yeah.
I did that the other day at Taco Bell, and the kid was so nice, and I felt like I was missing something, and I sat there and I go, is that it? He goes, sure is. We had such a lovely interaction. Like it was so pleasant. And then as soon as I pulled out of the driveway and there's like 8 other cars in line and you can't go in, you know, a lot of our restaurants are completely closed for real, just drive through. And so I was like, I was pulling out of the driveway and I was like, no, dang it. I forgot my drink. Too late. Yeah.
I know.
It is frustrating. It is. Okay. Should I move on to mine?
Yes.
It's equally as aggravating. And not important.
It is important.
Jessica! You lunged at your microphone so hard. Okay, so here's my rant. Organizing everything in your house to make it easier to find and access things only to not be able to find what you need when you're looking for it. So Jessica went ahead and put a prime example, which is me. Of something that I did that is so stupid, but I really was trying to make it better for myself. So, you know, I've been going mad over the pandemic trying to organize things. And don't get me wrong, my house is still a wreck, but like some of my closets and stuff are nice. So I went through, I hand built for myself. Sometimes I get crazy and decide I want something and I'll just fucking build it. I know that's so weird. You wouldn't think that about me, but my bedroom is so tiny and I had a space under a mirror that was kind of like good for a vanity, but I wanted a specific shelving system, whatever. So I bought some wood and I built it. Anyway,
I need to see a picture. You never told me this.
I didn't?
No.
Yeah, I built it.
Very intrigued.
I've used it for like 10 years now, something like that. Anyway, I love it. So I organize that thing all the time because I keep all my hair stuff in it, all of my product, like my makeup product, stuff like that. And it gets a mess. And so I go through it. Well, apparently I did that at some point over the pandemic, but I have stunk. What's the past tense? Stink. I probably still stinked. I don't know, but I've not worn deodorant as much as I should. And one day I said to my son, I was like, dude, Mommy stinks. And he was like, what? And I was like, Mommy literally stinks. And I had just showered that morning. Like, I think I'm getting old and my body chemistry is changing. So anyway, I kept looking for my deodorant, and this was like the 5th day in a row I couldn't find my deodorant. And I was like, I know I have deodorant. I know I have deodorant. Well, what I had done is organized all 9 of my deodorants into a box in my little shelving system. Put it was a beautiful box from Kiehl's that was like these little kids sledding gift that somebody gave me, and I was like, that box is so cute, which I don't need, but I kept it. And then I hid 9 full deodorants from myself in there. Zero memory of it.
I do that.
Zero memory. Or like, oh, I'm going to put all of my earbuds and charging cords and everything I need electrical in this one bag. Yep. Don't know where the bag is. Lost everything.
Okay, this is even more hilarious because I specifically gave you a little, like a jewelry roll up, but for your tech stuff, because I can't ever keep mine together. I should have got one for myself, but I was dying. I'm like, I'm getting this for Dana.
It's right here beside me. It has kept me. It has kept me from losing stuff. I appreciate it so much because I will organize. Last night, so all my art supplies, I don't know if we told this, but everybody knows we all hate Cutter. Everybody hates Cutter. She's a mean cat. I love her. I wouldn't give her in to be euthanized or anything, but she is a holy terror and she doesn't love us. She really doesn't. So I have to hide things from her because she peed on all of my art supplies. So I had them in this special canvas bag. She got into the bag, peed on my paints, peed on all my paper, my carbon paper, like everything. She peed all over it, all ruined, had to throw it all away. So as I've slowly over time built up my art supplies again, I put them in this big plastic bag. And so last night I was painting and I was like, I need my palette. I wanted to mix some paints. And I had put all of my art supplies in this big plastic bag. It's a giant bag filled with tons of paper, watercolor paper, drawing, sketching paper, 3 palettes for paints, like to mix my paint. Like it's huge.
Unreal. It
took me an hour to find it. And then I found it tucked in the living room behind the paper shredder.
Amazing.
Why did I put it there? And when?
I feel like we are so on the same page. It's awful because a normal person, I think both of us are not normal. I'll just go ahead and say that.
Yeah.
A normal human organizes to make their life easier, right?
Yeah.
It works the opposite for me. That is sick. I know it's not okay. I could easily judge anyone else who I go into. I do it when I work with clients on organizing and getting their homes ready. I'm great at doing it for others. I can't do it for myself. I do the same darn thing, Dana. And then way after I've already bought it 2 or 3 times, because I'll find it just like you said. I'm like, oh, I had a box under my cabinet that is here. I just don't ever think to look in my cabinet where it should be.
Yeah.
Which brings me back to, I think I may have mentioned this once a long time ago. I have a friend who's the queen of organizing, and she is a big proponent over only having clear storage bins. And I go, ew, nobody wants to look at all that. She goes, well, you just said the reason why I think it should be clear. If you don't want to look at it in there, then you don't need to have all that crap.
You don't need to have it.
You need to have it neat and organized so you can get it and oh, there's my art supplies, there's my makeup, all that. She goes, then you put it in a cupboard and you put labels on it. I don't label. You know how many times 3 people have given me a touch? You do?
Yeah.
I should.
I label. My sisters make fun of me for it, but it is the only way I can keep, especially like my chargers and things. Yes. I'm like, what the heck does this go to?
No, it's smart.
I do label. And I have one of those those shoe rack bags, the canvas shoe bags on the inside of my teeny tiny bathroom hall. You could call it a closet, but it's only 5 inches deep. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So I hang that, and I used jute rope and I printed out fancy labels. So like I said, Band-Aids, and each pocket is labeled with little.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, but do I stick to it? If you look in the Band-Aids pocket right now, I guarantee you there's nail polish remover in it.
Well, I might have to come take one of your deodorants, Dana.
Yeah. Well, I've got 9.
You
and
know why?
they're all the same kind. That's what's so hilarious. I have a favorite kind and I buy it over and over and then I lose it. And then I put it in a box somewhere. I don't know. I wish, Jessica, that I was the kind of person that I could organize other people's things, because then maybe we could swap. Like you could come organize me and I could, but I'm not that good.
Also, the key is, and like my dad would always do this, and I'd always be like, ugh. When my dad comes home from a store, he immediately cuts open the packaging, puts it where it is in the kitchen.
I do that too now, but I wasn't always like that. It is helpful.
Get it, and I throw it in a corner, and then I find it a year later.
Right. That's why I stopped doing that, because I was the worst. As soon as anything comes in my house, I take it out of the bag, I unwrap it, I throw the packaging in recycle, and I usually put it away, but it doesn't stay there is the problem.
Right. Well, I'll say one last thing about deodorants. When we were at Whole Foods, my husband and I went there to get something fun to eat for New Year's Eve, right? Our big New Year's Eve, the two of us, right?
Yeah.
I love how I'm acting like I would have been at a club at a penthouse somewhere in downtown. I would have been home regardless. Okay.
I know, it's overrated. It's overrated.
It really is. But we're like, oh, let's get like some nice seafood or something. So I walked by and I'm like, oh, they had like the 12 Days of Beauty, which was like a lovely kind of advent calendar, and it was on sale because it was after Christmas, and it was a great deal. It was like really nice size products, and the whole box was $20. I'm like, can I get this? I'm like, it has your favorite deodorant and I'll give it to you. And he's like, okay, yeah, great. So I bought it, and it really does have a deodorant that's unisex. It's like charcoal. It doesn't have a smell really. So he went to use it today, and don't you know, the thing in the bottom is broken. We twisted with all our might and the deodorant wouldn't come out. So I'll see you in about 20 minutes and I'll pick up one of those deodorants if you don't mind.
My God, that's so frustrating. You know what else happens like that a lot too, that I just lost my mind over this week, is I bought 2 plastic water bottles for all my plants and the squirters don't work. That little spring up in the squirter can slip out, and you can't get up in there. You just have to toss it, and it's so aggravating.
Which is annoying and feels wasteful. I know.
And you don't want to take back a $2 plastic bottle and be like, it's not working. I mean, I don't even think you can take back a not working deodorant, can you?
I mean, I'm going to try, I guess.
Yeah, I would too.
Just to exchange it, right?
Yes. And obviously it hasn't been used. It's broken.
That's right.
Or you could just spoon it onto your armpits.
Oh my God.
Imagine.
He already used to use a natural deodorant like that, which I'm not making fun of it. It's good because it doesn't have aluminum and all those other things.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm using that deodorant. I'm like, with your fingers?
Ew.
But you have to kind of like get in there. And I'm like, I'm cool. I'll stick with my Dove cucumber. Thank you.
Yeah, me too. You want to know why? Because it works.
It works, and it smells good without anyone else smelling it.
Yes, and also like with this obvious body change I'm going through, nobody wants me using natural. Believe me, if I'm gonna say flat out to my child, "Mommy stinks," you definitely want me using something hard. Okay.
Hilarious.
Well, let's go ahead and get into our corners. Yeah.
Not without a cleansing breath.
Oh, geez. Don't worry. I'm gonna touch on my points to ponder. I'm gonna be talking about some of these kinds of things, but you're absolutely right, because I constantly forget. It's literally like the thing of our show. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay, so we're going to take a deep breath in. You can, right now it's pandemic. If you need to scream it out, you can. If you just want to breathe it out with us, let's take all that energy we worked up from ranting and blow it all out and fill up with some goodness. All right, are we ready? Take a deep breath in. And yay.
Feels
good. That was lovely. Yes.
Feels
I love how we both got so calm. We've been like, then one breath, we're like, that was so beautiful. Thank you, Jessica, for sharing that breath.
Two Pomeranians.
We just got our ears scratched. Okay, you're first.
Okay, so this is what the what?
What the what?
A California man was arrested Saturday and accused of hiding in a restricted area of Chicago's O'Hare International Airport for 3 months. Okay.
What was that Tom Hanks movie? Remember when he lived in an airport?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's this.
I know what you're talking about. Holy crap. I forgot about that, actually.
Yeah.
The man told police that COVID-19 had rendered him too scared to travel home to California. So he hid in the airport, surviving on food provided by strangers. What?
I mean, it's very... listen, California is dangerous right now. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely. It's scary. I mean, we have COVID like crazy here. But I don't know that I would feel any safer in an airport.
Ew,
and also,
no.
How are you going to just depend on the kindness of others to feed you? Anyway, continue.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, did he not have any form of income? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, get a job at Coffee Bean while you're there. Like,
right?
It's a short commute if you're living there.
Also, if he was there, either he was there for work, correct? Or were you visiting someone and you know them? Or did you take a vacation in a pandemic and then realize, oh, I'm too scared to go home?
Yeah,
what?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense. United Airlines staff spotted 36-year-old Aditya Singh and requested identification. They said he removed his mask and presented a badge, which belonged to an airport operations manager who reported it missing last October.
Terrifying.
I can't. Singh faces felony charges of criminal trespass in a restricted area of an airport, as well as misdemeanor theft charges. Cook County Judge Susanna Ortiz set the bail at $1,000. Doesn't seem very high. She also said
he doesn't have any money. I don't think he's going to be able to reach it.
Oh, she said if he came up with the money, he would be prohibited from returning to the airport. Really?
Oh.
You don't say.
Yeah, I think that's good.
The hearing took place last Sunday, where the judge was concerned that an individual had remained undetected in a secure area for so long. Well, thank you, Judge, because at least somebody has a brain here. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it's not like Burbank or John Wayne Airport, teeny tinies. It's Chicago O'Hare.
Also, don't we have surveillance everywhere nowadays? So if someone, and I sure as hell hope there's at least one person watching those monitors, you don't go, there was a guy in a blue hoodie, whatever the hell he was wearing, yesterday, actually, and the day before, it doesn't clue in that somebody's been there. I don't understand how
3 months.
And where was he hiding? If it was a restricted area, I can't. I'm assuming their pictures are probably on their badge. I'm assuming doesn't look like the guy. Maybe he did. The court finds these facts and circumstances quite shocking for the alleged period of time that this occurred, being in a secured part of the airport under a fake ID badge, allegedly, based upon the need for airports to be absolutely secure so that people feel safe to travel. I do find those alleged actions do make him a danger to the community. So again, it's sad, but dude, obviously he has issues, and there's no, at least according to this, it's not that he attacked someone or was, I mean, he stole the badge, but
yes, there is no place I would less like to be than at an airport.
Correct.
It's the most uncomfortable. Yes, it's uncomfortable. People no, I don't know why.
Germ filled. It's like, if you told me that he hid out in a greenhouse or in a barn somewhere, I'd be like, understandable.
Right. Yes, right. In a greenhouse, you're surrounded by fresh air and loveliness. Yes. In a barn, you can snuggle a sheep. I mean, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. What you got in an airport? A See's candy?
Oh my God.
Yeah, not the life for me. But I will say too, hopefully he'll be able to get some help. Somebody can, it's scary times too. Like if you're needing help during the pandemic, a shelter is a very scary place to be right now. That's something we're trying to work out. Obviously Los Angeles has a huge homeless problem. We've been talking about it for years. It's awful. But at the same time, you've got cops going around pulling down tents. Well, the only place these people have to go is some sort of shelter, and it's rampant with COVID. So I don't know what the answer is, but it is a sad situation. I would say don't pick an airport.
Right?
Ooh, all right.
Crazy.
So it's my turn. I have a very crazy corner that Jessica, would you happen to know what kind of corner this is?
Is it weird? So very weird. Why must they bring their weirdness here?
It is. It is. I have a weirdo of the week. I think you're going to get some hate mail about changing up the lyrics on our song, but
I always do.
I know.
Get the hate mail.
Here we go. This is from Sky News. This was from Wednesday, January 6th, very historical day. And it's by Sabah Chowdhury. Naked fugitive rescued from tree by fishermen. Okay, here we go. 2 fishermen have rescued a naked fugitive who they found sitting on a tree branch in an Australian crocodile habitat. Now, let me revisit what I said before. I would much rather you hide out in an airport than a crocodile habitat. Oh my God. Kev Joyner and Cam Froust, both recreational fishers, found the 40-year-old in East Point, close to the city of Darwin, on Sunday. The friends said they heard Luke Voskrensky shout out for some help as they were setting up crab traps from their dinghy in the swamp. They said Voskrensky. I know I'm saying that wrong. I apologize. It's got a lot of syllables.
I couldn't pronounce it either.
Voskrensky, who was covered in mud, cuts, and insect bites, I bet, begged them for a drink of clean water and said that he had been living off of snails for 4 days.
I mean, I love escargot, but I have a feeling he didn't have the parsley or the butter to back that up.
He definitely didn't. He would have been way better off to put that on his face because I hear their mucus is good for your skin. They said Voskrensky. Mr. Frost said he had been using his clothes for bits and pieces over the way. That's a quote. I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Bits and pieces of what, sir?
So
that's why you're naked? Where did it go? Did you eat your clothes? I need to know where this clothes went. Okay, Roanoke, I got to find it. It didn't make sense to us. He had a nest made up in the tree and he was only laying a meter above the water and there were crocs in the water. So he has done well to survive.
Oh my God.
Mr. Joyner said the pair were initially unsure about bringing Voskrensky on board with them. Yeah, I would be too. Just because you're on water doesn't mean there ain't stranger danger. You don't pick up hitchhikers in a crocodile habitat. He said once we'd seen how bad he was and how many cuts he had all over him and how he was dehydrated and pretty weak, we thought we'd better get him in the boat. Also, I love that there's a picture. We may need to post this on Instagram at some point because it's just like a pink blur in a tree.
I mean, it's blurred and the view is like slightly obscured because of the blurring. Like I kept staring at it. I'm like, oh,
I don't know where his body is.
Animal hide hanging up.
Yes,
it's a blurred out naked body.
It is, but there's 2 separate non-touching blurs, and it's like the top of his body, and then it looks like he has 4 penises hanging down that are not blurred, and then something else, I don't know. Anyway, we thought he just must have had a big night after New Year's and got lost and done himself a mischief in the bush.
In the boot.
Mr. Faust said he gave Voskowski his shorts and a beer as the trio went back to Darwin. He said he looked like he needed a beer, although he was in a bad way. There was an ambulance crew waiting by a boat ramp upon their arrival. He was taken to a hospital in Darwin where he was placed under police guard as he was treated. Police said he had been on bail after being charged with armed robbery, multiple aggravated assaults, deprivation of liberty, and stealing. He had removed his electronic monitoring device last week to evade police. His hospital admission meant that he was pardoned from attending court to face new charges of breaching bail and aggravated assault, court official Xavier Lacana said. His next court date's February 9th. Mr. Faust said he decided against visiting Voskowski in the hospital after finding out he was wanted by the police. I don't know what that means, but I also don't know what this, I know we've got a few Australian listeners. What is that deprivation of liberty? Is that kidnapping?
I don't know.
That's what it sounds like to me, but surely not. It didn't say he tried to kidnap a crocodile. That would be dumb.
I cannot.
Oh my God. But honestly, remember the guy that lived in the Disney animal park for a while? Like that makes sense to me. But to go out to like a Louisiana lagoon with the crocs, I know he's in Australia, even worse. Everything is deadly in Australia. What's wrong with you, dude? And like climb to the top of that tree. That's why there's room down low. There's plenty of apartments because they get eaten.
Why? Well, maybe he went there thinking nobody will come looking for him in an area with crocodiles. But guess what, pal? How long you think you can stay there? Indefinitely?
Yeah. There's no drive-through there. Where are you going to eat?
Oh my God.
And also, what was his nest made of if it wasn't his clothes? I'm really upset. I need to know where his clothes went.
I know. It says he used his clothes as bits and pieces. And I thought, of what? Of food?
What? That's what I'm wondering. Which I would think would do a number on your bowels.
It's like an old-timey cartoon where a hobo catches an old boot in a lake and then cooks it over the stove.
And eats it. Why is that?
Cannot.
I know what you're talking about. Why is that an iconic image in our brains?
I don't know.
Oh my God, that's so weird.
It is weird. And this guy is weird.
Yeah. You're weird. You're so very. Oh, wait, you guys. You know what that sound is? That's my karaoke microphone warming up. You're weird. You're so very weird. Why must you bring your weirdness here? All right.
Oh, yeah. I like it.
Those were our first corners of 2021.
I like it. Oh, all right, my God.
We should move on into our good news.
Yes.
Okay, so good
our
news.
First rave for this week comes from one of our original listeners. He has been with us since the beginning. He is an absolute joy. He's
become a friend for I would say.
Absolutely. Dana and I say we hope to get to meet this man one day because he is
a delight.
Absolutely delightful. Also, you know, we have a soft spot for firemen. And
yes, he's a retired fireman.
Mm-hmm. And he's also just very helpful. Man, he volunteers for different organizations, including the one we're about to talk about. And I will tell you that he reached out to me when we originally spoke of Sweet Little Baker. He offered, because he lives in the same state as that family, he offered his assistance. He said, if they ever need anything, I'm happy. And it was really overwhelming to me that he would offer to do that. So we love him.
Absolutely. He is one of these people that I would have never met this man were it not for social media and podcasting.
Yes.
And he doesn't live in our state. I don't know anyone he knows. And what an amazing blessing he's been in my life for several years now. He's just delightful. So anyway, I'll let you go ahead. I just wanted to say that.
Totally. So I think we're okay to say his name. Yes. To acknowledge him. His name is Linus.
Yeah.
And he is always sent in. Also, he sends us fun messages all the time. And we love that. He always gives us the nice little review of the show, which I love.
I love.
So this is an organization that Lennis has volunteered with, and we're going to post a link not only to the site, but they also have a online auction, which of course a lot of people have moved to that during the last year or so because they can't have their in-person galas as they normally would to raise money for the organizations. So they have an online auction where you can bid on things, and they have amazing stuff that's clearly been donated by businesses in the area.
Right.
This is caringhouse.org. Caring House provides comfortable, supportive, and affordable housing to Duke Cancer Institute adult outpatients and their caregivers. It is a 12,900 square foot building that has 18 private rooms, each with a private bath, phone, television, and DVD player. Common areas include a fully equipped kitchen, a dining room, a great room, laundry room, library with computer access, screened-in porch, water garden and koi pond, bird habitat area, rose garden, and a healing garden.
That sounds lovely.
It really does. And I looked it up, and it looks like an absolutely beautiful facility. I love this part too. Guests are encouraged to bring their caregivers, who may be a spouse, another family member, or a close friend.
Wow.
So I love that because nobody wants to be alone.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if someone is going through cancer or any kind of illness, they have somebody there to give them a hand, both physically, but also as moral support. Emotional support. Guests can borrow books during their stay to read in a cozy corner of the house or bring to their treatment sessions. iPads are also available in this room for guests and caregivers to use to keep in touch with family and friends and offices.
Wow.
The space is also used for volunteers who provide complimentary professional healing art services, such as massage, yoga, and healing touch.
Oh, wow.
So that also is amazing because they obviously have people in the area that donate their services.
It's so wonderful. And you know what?
Amazing.
Self-care, that's a lot of self-care stuff. And that's so healing, especially right now.
So important. So they have multiple ways to get involved. And as we always say, if you are not in North Carolina or near where Duke University and their amazing medical facilities are, by the way, that's where Baker goes for all of his special doctors.
Good.
Duke is just an incredible medical center, a true treasure in this country. They have multiple ways to get involved. You can volunteer. So I'm sure they need volunteers all the way across the board, from services to actually volunteering stuff to upkeep the home, provide a meal, which I thought was awesome. So you could pay, and they tell you it's usually to about 25 to 30 people at a time. You could either pay to have food delivered for the night, or you can come there and make a meal, like a spaghetti dinner night, tacos or whatever, and make it in their kitchen, which is lovely. You can also make a gift, which is making a monetary donation. The average length of stay for a guest is 4 to 6 weeks. So think about that too. The schlepping that people would have to do back and forth to wherever they live, or maybe they're coming from out of state or a more rural area, to think about having to drive hours in between and with your treatments and going back and forth, and how tired. It's very taxing.
Absolutely.
It's just a really lovely program. And if you are not in the area, I'm sorry, I think I got ahead of myself. I was going to say, we always say you can look for something in your area that's similar
to that. Yeah. Or let it inspire you. And maybe that's something your community needs, and you and a buddy can help start it up. Who knows?
Totally.
And we also say too all the time, it doesn't require money to help other people. You can spread the word, you can volunteer time, things like that. It does make a difference. And obviously we know it's COVID right now, things are hard, but we're all looking for ways that we can help, even in these times, because it's even more so needed.
Totally.
I love that.
So yeah, that is a lovely organization. And Lennis, thank you for bringing that to our attention. And thank you for the work that you have done to get the word out with this amazing organization that's definitely going to help people get through a really hard time with
absolutely
a little bit of peace, hopefully.
I love it. All right. My rave this week is pandemicoflove.com. It is a network of over 1,000 plus volunteers worldwide. Wow. Let me tell you what it is a little bit. It's Pandemic of Love is a nonprofit disruptor. We are a mutual aid community of care that was started in response to the COVID-19 epidemic. It humbly began on March 14th, which is interesting because I went into quarantine on March 12th.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yep.
I remember it was the 12th because I kept my kid out of school before they closed the schools.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, such a crazy, crazy time in our, and I'm just tired of living like major historical events. But anyway, it was intended, it was started by one person. Please remember that, okay? Because I'm going to go back and tell you what they've done, and it's insane. It was started by one person and intended to help her own local community. But like an epidemic, the act of love and kindness spread quickly and is now a beautiful movement helping those in need throughout the world. The world. Okay. They have done, there's 1,000 plus volunteers worldwide, 370,000 plus matches between people and families in need of 750,000 unique human connections, $42.5 million in direct transactions. Now, let me tell you what all that does. I just wanted to remind you that was started by one person. Okay. What is a mutual aid community? It connects people in need with patrons who can help with that need. This is a tangible way for people to give to each other quickly, discreetly, and directly. There is no overhead and no fees. It's the most direct way to give. What's the catch? There is none. Kind people are introduced to kind people, which results in an act of kindness and human connection. Okay. So we'll put up a link to get started. You fill out some forms. They'll match you up with a person or a family, and check to see if there's a local pandemic of love in your community or your state, because this thing is blowing up massively. Right. And it was started by, I'm going to say it again, one person. Okay. And it helps individuals. I'm going to read a little bit on the page that you click to start filling out. If you want to be matched up with someone, it helps people in need with like their essentials, getting by during this insane time. Give Help is for individuals who are in a position to offer assistance, whether it's a one-time assistance or more often. This form will help match you with an individual or a family in need that meets your criteria of giving. Locate your closest micro community. This is from the US and global lists. Okay.
Wow.
So anyway, it's basically like kind of adopting a person or a family to help them out if you can, right? It's kind of like I would equate it probably to like a big brothers, big sisters kind of thing. I think people are creating relationships, and where some people are not able to keep up with their own needs. Somebody else that might be able to on a certain level would be matched with that person on their level. So anyway, I think it's pretty amazing.
It is
and
amazing.
They also have a link too. If you don't see your micro community below and you're still hoping to get help or give help, you can do so with these national level forms. So they offer that as well if it's not in your community. It's pretty awesome. So anyway, thank you, Pandemic of Love. This is something that was started out of basically necessity during such a historical, scary time. And it's really beautiful to see people reaching out and helping where they can.
Exactly. Thank you for that, Dana. That's a lovely, lovely organization.
I think so too. Yeah, I love it. Jessica.
Dana.
I think that's our show.
I can't believe it, but I think it is.
And it feels nice to laugh with you.
It feels so nice to laugh with you. It's weird because we didn't, at first I was like, oh God, we're going to be green room dumping forever. But Dana and I have been in daily touch. Nothing has changed since that. So we were up to date on the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the very funny. I'd like to thank Dana for keeping me in good spirits with the TikTok that she finally got me to join. Yes.
You guys, can you believe it? Can you even believe it? How long has it been?
I got Jessica on TikTok, and now I bombard her with videos every day.
But it really is fun. I'm serious. Like, now I'm like, oh yeah, why was I so resistant to it? I'm resistant to change. I always have been. It's something I'm actively aware of and trying to work on.
Listen, I'm still resistant to things. So if you're a listener and you're like, why has Dana not been so communicative on Facebook? I've been avoiding Facebook. I don't know why. I just have not been going on there. But I love Instagram because most of I like happy pictures. And then TikTok, you kind of build your own algorithm. My TikTok is the happiest place ever. Like, I just love it.
Also, can we be frank? Most people's parents and older folk are on Facebook and not on Instagram. So sometimes I don't need to hear people's negative 2 cents or political jargon. That doesn't, I hope I'm not jinxing myself. I'm knocking on wood, y'all. That doesn't seem to happen on Instagram. Yes, you can have trolls anywhere, but on Facebook, it's real cray. So I also refrain. I used to be a lot more vocal, and lately I'm just like, I'm exhausted by this, and I don't want to hear even one person's shitty attitude towards what I have the right to say on my own page. I'm tired of being hijacked, and I'm sure you probably experienced that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel the same. I mean, there's no reason for me to just repeat what you said. But so if you have sent me a message on Facebook or something and I haven't responded, that's the only reason why. It's just because I'm not going on there. But you can always reach out to me. I have email, we have Rants and Raves email. You can reach me there. You can reach me usually on Instagram. I don't follow everybody back that I know just because I don't see it. I'm not good at I'm old, you guys. I'm not good at keeping up with that. So like sometimes I'll see somebody that follows me and they've made a comment or something. And I'm like, how do I not follow that person? But just send me a message there or on Rants and Raves and I'll get back to you. As we're wrapping up, I feel like, Jessica, do we have some thank yous to go out? Because we got some gifts and I can't remember if we said thank you before we took a break.
I feel like we did. We talk about wise beans, which by the way, I had
about wise beans.
3
Delicious.
cups of coffee. I'm down to my last bag of that delicious coffee. I had 3 cups of it morning.
So good.
Oh my God.
What else? I got some fun little stickers and stuff. I think you did too.
From Beck, from Blooming with Beck, and the essential oil towelettes.
Yes, the mask thing. Oh, people are so kind to us. It's amazing. Is that it? I said thank you to Wild and Beautiful Art. I will mention she has started doing, she's the one who did that lovely painting of me and my mama.
Yes.
She has also started doing lovely, lovely recreation paintings of people's homes.
I saw.
And I love it. I think I'm gonna do that for my daddy. I hope he's not listening. I don't think he did. I don't think he's listening.
Well, even if he is, it'll still be a nice surprise.
Yeah, he loves his house and she does such a good job. It's beautiful. So
amazing.
Is that everything? I feel like we're forgetting people. I sure hope not, because every time we get something from people or a note from people, I'm blown away.
Me too.
It makes me feel so good and happy and special. And I love the connections that we've made.
Thank you to those who sent us just messages saying, are you guys coming back? Or I really missed hearing you. And it was very sweet and nice to hear that. And we appreciate you guys being patient, but it was a much needed break. And I feel like we're back and we're ready to roar.
Yes.
And
all 4 of us.
Speaking of social media,
2 listeners.
Speaking of social media, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Rants and Raves Podcast. You can email us at the Rants and Raves Podcast at gmail.com. Also, you can hit the contact button, and that goes directly to us on our website, www.therantsandраvespodcast.com. Please check it out because, again, not only do we put silly stuff up or clips from the show or whatever, but Dana and I are going to be on a game show again this week. So by the time this episode comes out, I don't know if the show will necessarily be up by next Tuesday when you guys hear this, but either way, we're going to post to that on social media. It's called Sight Unseen. So just to keep you in the know, like if you follow social media, then you would know you could see Dana and Saved by the Bell on the Peacock Network. There's a lot of things that you can find out about us.
We do interact with people on social media. I don't go on Facebook as much, but through Instagram and other things we do. I also don't do Twitter. God, I'm like an old person. What I tell you the other day, I described myself as an old person that didn't understand rock and roll. And as always, please support other podcasters, guys. We have our friends Spark My Interests over there. We know so many people with podcasts that are just lovely. Kim Noonan, I was a guest on Multiracial White Boy a few weeks ago. So, listen to your other things. I'm just going to say again, because it's a new year and I really want to, the Happiness Lab really got me through this holiday break. It's such a great podcast. And that's all free, you guys. So I think that's it. We're wrapping up. I wanted to, as a point to ponder this week, I'm just going to shout out. I usually like to shout out some things I'm watching. Bridgerton, binged it immediately. Yes, it is story porn. I don't care. I loved it. It is what it is. Is it like high class drama? Absolutely not. Are there handsome men in it? Yep. Is there lots of kissing? Yes. Did I drool? Perhaps. Watched it in 2 days. All right. But what I really wanted to bring to the table today is an app. I'm always telling you guys about these apps, right? So my little sister told me about it, and it is called I Am. I'm going to show you, Jessica. So you can choose your own background or whatever, right?
Ugh.
So you know how my Aloe app pops up and tells me you need to drink water, it's time to hydrate, all this stuff. Well, this is one of those kind of apps, and you can schedule it. I have mine scheduled for 8 times a day, I think. And it puts a little flag across the top of your phone, and you hear it go bling, and you look at it, and it's an affirmation. So you can favorite ones, they'll bounce back up for you or not. And I have it set up so that 6 times a day, the first one in the morning, it tells me, I usually have self-care so that I'm getting up, trying to clean myself up and get ready, right? But there's self-care, there's stress, there's anxiety, and you can plan like, oh, I want 2 anxiety ones, 3 progress ones, 3 like whatever. And then one of them during the day says, it's time for your affirmations. Now you make one. I am. And it'll tell you, take a minute and breathe. You have 60 seconds, right? And I'm telling you, I was saying to my therapist, when it pops up, no matter what's going on, it reminds me, oh, yeah. I have a choice to focus on something good right now, even if I'm stressed or whatever. And it really does switch up my mindset. It really does. It's not a miracle, don't get me wrong, but it stops. I have such negative brain talk, like bad. My brain is very mean to myself. And sometimes it just stops it long enough for me to shift and refocus and move on for a little bit till my next affirmation pops up. Right. So
I think that's very important. And I'm glad that you're bringing that up because I need to hear it. And I guarantee most people listening to this need to hear it.
Well, I'm telling you, it was like, it was meant to be for me because my therapist and I had been talking about, she was like, you know what, Dana, you're negative, brain talk. That's what I call it, not her. But she's like, that is really affecting you lately. And it has been. And she was like, I really want to work right now on affirmations, even if it's just one a day, or once a week or whatever. Like, let's think of that. Literally the next day, my baby sister was like, I just found this app that's so good. You got to download it. And it was called I Am. So anyway, it's a free app. They do have the option to go, what do they call it? What do you call it when you go, you pay? I wanted to say prime time, but that's not right. Go pro affirm. I don't know. Anyway, you can pay and get more options, but you know me, I'm old in that I'm like, I ain't paying for an app. I'll watch an advertisement. I don't care. Well, there's no advertisements, but it'll ask you to sign up and everything. You can just exit out of the app and go back in and just use the free the whole time. They let you do that, which is really nice. So anyway, again, it's called I Am. And then just to go with that, I wanted to tell you, my baby sister, again, she's such a delight, had me follow, and I think I sent you some things from them. And I believe that she is where's Upper Norfolk Street, North Shields? Isn't that UK?
You're asking like I'm a topographer and make maps. I don't know.
Jessica, don't act like you don't know things. You knew what orca pasta was. Come on. Anyway.
Orzo, not orca as in a killer whale.
Okay, potato petrito. Who cares? Anyway, it's on Instagram. It's called @VLM Therapy. It's by this woman named Vicky McKeown, and it's one of those Instagrams that just posts like positive affirmations and sayings, right?
I think also that this can help when, yes, look, there are just some days where they're that bad. We're allowed to have them. But I keep telling myself, yes, I'm allowed to be really sad or have days where I'm really mad. But hopefully that's reserved for horrible or very tragic events.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be just because I got really pissed at something that now I'm seething about and it's taken over my day. And then I'll realize sometimes, oh, it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'm still got my shoulders up at my ears, even though I've kept on and gone on with my day. I didn't let that go. And there's far more things that I could focus on, even if it's just to be like, thank God I'm healthy today. You know what I mean? So
absolutely. Yeah. Well, and the reason I love her, she doesn't have a huge following. I mean, there's only 1,000 followers. I think she's a counselor in a local area, but I love all the things she posts. And some of them are just cute and funny. And some of them are like, here's what toxic positivity can do to you. Don't do this, right? Or like, hey guys, it's Friday, well, that's the second week of 2021 and we've survived. Finally, which just made me giggle. Anyway, it's real cute. So VLM therapy, and I just wanted to read one of the things from her.
Fine.
Okay, I'm just going to leave us with this and think about this. Think about your own mental state this week. Ponder that. Ponder how you can reach out and help others. Here's one of the things that she posted 2 days ago. Let's not forget people's mental health. Please check in on friends and family. You never know what they're going through. Instagram is a lie. People hide behind smiles. Check in on them. It takes seconds. So what I've been doing for the past couple of weeks is if someone pops into my brain, a friend that I haven't seen or talked to in a long time, if I don't have the time to do it in that moment, I text myself their name and then I send them a message or I text them or I call them and say, hey, you were on my mind and I just wanted to let you know. Hope you're doing well. Like you don't have to get completely engaged with someone to show love, right? And it's nice to know that you're being thought of. So anyway, this is my long-winded point to ponder. I know it's a lot, but we've been through a lot this year. By the time this comes out, we'll have gone through the inauguration. And for us right now recording, that's tomorrow. So we don't know what's going to happen. It's a nerve-wracking time and we need to take care of ourselves and each other. Jessica, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Helped me get through the best and worst of this year and last year and previous years. And
same lady. Seriously, I'm really grateful for you and thank you for having this journey with me to try to laugh it out, because if not, I really think we would probably go crazy, right?
So I think so. Well, happy 2021, everyone. We're back with our chatty mouths. Oh, my aloe app just told me you got to nourish to flourish. Water yourself soon. I'm a full-grown adult and I need my phone to help me survive. So anyway, we love you guys.
We love you. And please, new year, new starts. Please send us your rants and your raves. We love it. We love sharing things from you guys. And again, I don't think there's been a single thing that, and this is just happenstance, that a listener has sent us that we've ever heard of. It's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
So please keep it coming.
Should we tell them again?
Email us at the Rants and Raves podcast at gmail.com. You can DM us on social media at the Rants and Raves podcast on both Facebook and Instagram. You can also hit the contact button on our website, www.therantsandраvespodcast.com, and Dana's favorite, Twitter, at raves_B. I don't recommend that for communicating with us, but if you'd like to follow, go for it.
I don't think I've looked at my Twitter in 2 years. All right, guys, we'll scream laugh at you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.